All right, team, here we go. We're going to go get the top 100 Hacker News users to start with. And the end objective to this tutorial is to be able to get all the submissions of the top 100 Hacker News users. So we're going to start by just getting the very first one. So I like this one because it's a little bit more challenging. It requires you to think a little bit more about how you're going to go about things. So I'll show you here once we get into the details. So I'm doing it in extractor. The reason I'm going to do an extractor is because this is a static page, one list. So we're going to go to leaders here, and we're just going to grab all of these guys here. All right. All the data is still there. Perfect. And so you'll start to see here in a little while exactly why this is a bit challenging. Hacker News actually, like the pagination works in a way that it's dynamically generated, similar to what we had dealt with Reddit earlier. So we're just going to have to essentially create some extra rules on the final crawler page that help us out. Now here's something that you may have not run into before in the tutorials, but with an extractor it's only going to highlight 100 of these. It'll still pull these last two because it has the pattern down, but it just wants to tell you that it's only going to highlight the top 100 there. So, and the reason that it only goes to 98 is because in this case it actually grabs this here as well. All right, we've got all our rows. Now let's add our columns. So we're going to do username, and we're going to do just text to start with. Now, whenever I do something like this where the name is the same as the link, partway through me creating these tutorials and these courses, Import.io changed a little bit about how this exports into a CSV, because I typically am analyzing the data in a CSV. If I were to only do this, which is, so I'm going to do this right now and show you just, if I were to only create links of a particular column, like if I were to take this and create links, well, that didn't work. User link. Now if I were to do this, so what's going to happen now? As you can see, it's considering this one of the rows, so we'll erase that later. But as you can see, it looks the same here in the extractor, but when you export to a CSV, it will actually export as the URL itself. So for me, in some cases, it depends what you're scraping. This is probably not really a big deal for Hacker News, but say, for instance, Yelp, if you're scraping the business link and it's also the name, but you want to be able to see the name later on, that's a scenario where you want to get the username as text as well as the user link as a link captured. So I would just recommend as a best practice doing both of those. So we basically got what we need here. Just gonna scroll down and make sure we got everything. See, as you can see, it actually grabbed those last two results. It grabbed those two results here. So we're done trading, and let's just upload that really quickly. Now, if you want, you can actually go through the trouble of grabbing all the points here and the average points, etc. I'm not really too worried about it for what we're going to be doing, so I'm not grabbing that in this situation, but clearly you can grab those two columns as well if you need to. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just download this as a CSV, get all the URLs so that we can use this in the crawler. So that'll be in the next video. I'll be right back.